Sometimes old school values are a good thing to have. But then there are other times when maybe get off my lawn is not the right approach. You have Kirk Herbstreit, former Ohio State quarterback, now part of the ESPN GameDay crew, and is the color commentator on the #1 ESPN college football broadcast pairing, along with Chris Fowler. He wholeheartedly believes that college players today just don't love football. He said as much on TV. And then you have Desmond Howard, former Michigan wide receiver and returner, who earned the Heisman in 1991 and MVP honors in Super Bowl 31, and he's also as a part of the ESPN College GameDay clan. He recently went viral in saying that players today are essentially entitled. Both analysts are wrong. It's difficult to have this conversation without first uncovering some of why this is the case. We got to this part of the sports journey because the NCAA has sold the narrative that the players who attend college are student athletes, emphasis on the word student, and purposely have student come in front of athlete. However, a funny thing happened on the way to today. Each professional sport earns billions of dollars each year. The prospect for an athlete to set up his current and future family up for life is dangled in front of them like the Infinity Stones in front of Thanos. They can literally, with one snap of a finger, say goodbye to poverty and hello to riches. For most 18-year-olds that dream of being a professional athlete, this is the pot at the end of their rainbow. But for a long time, athletes who went to college received no benefit from playing on the field. What made it even worse is that the NCAA themselves made millions, then hundreds of millions, and now billions of dollars in football and basketball. Both entities make so much money for the NCAA, it pays and paves the way for other sports to function. It also makes institutions wealthy beyond belief, setting the stage for big-name coaches in football and basketball to command salaries commensurate with their professional counterparts. You have Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban earning as much as $10 million each year to coach 18 to 21-year-olds that their hard-earned sweat helps them live the life they themselves dream of having. For a long time, and in many ways even today, athletes couldn't grab a piece of that pie. Remember, they are student athletes, or to put it another way, amateurs. And amateurs do not play for money. No, they play because they love the sport. The will to compete, to have fun, to have an innocent energy, even while staring down the hot, bright lights of national television, should mean more than making ends meet in college. You go to this big name school, and the fame should be more than enough. In these ever-changing times, fame is not enough. Now, without having to go through the NCAA hoops, a person before they turn 18 can earn money on Instagram and YouTube if their content is accepted by many. Plus, the cost of living is rising ever so gradually. Add to it many other life's obstacles, making it difficult to be free any other way for some. Other than to spit a hot 16, sing like Mariah Carey, act on the silver screen, or push weight in the street, athletics is the way out of squalor and the way to prosperity. There has been a groundswell of having players earn money while in college. The Fab Five of 1992 and 1993 at the University of Michigan was considered persona non grata for a few decades afterwards because of financial booster help. Ed O'Bannon proudly talked about getting money while playing at UCLA. And those are just two examples of many. Players are beginning to see themselves as commodities. NFL scouts are looking at high school prospects to see what's next in 3 to 4 years. NBA scouts are in high school gyms checking out the hype for a high school senior to make an impact even sooner. These athletes are told if they run a certain time, lift a certain weight, score a certain number of baskets, throw or even run for an inordinate amount of touchdowns, their pot at the end of the rainbow will be closer than they think. To the powers that be in selling the dream to the youngsters, if they can do these 3 things, they'll be fine. Go to class and impress all the professors. Steer clear from the law. Stay as healthy as they possibly can their whole stay in college. Now, this goes back to Herbstreit's and Howard's criticism. They talk about these athletes as if the logo on the helmets mean nothing to them. Nothing is further from the truth. One way or another, school matters to them. What today's collegiate athlete is starting to discover is that the investment in their bodies mean even more than the loyalty to whatever school they attend. It isn't that these athletes have a sense of entitlement. They have a sense of investment. And Herbstreit challenges the love of football with today's college football player, that these college players should play in bowls. Well, tell that to Matt Corral. The high-round quarterback prospect was gung-ho in playing the Sugar Bowl for Ole Miss 2 weeks ago. But 1 sack changed all of that. And then there's Jameson Williams, the wide receiver prospect who was supposed to be one of the most coveted draft picks this April. Williams was well on his way to the NFL until he tore his ACL in the first half of the national championship. You see, it's not because these young men and women don't care about the collegiate experience. These athletes want to experience all that college has to offer and not have to be destitute while doing it, and making many grown men and some women rich. They want their bodies to provide them the biggest return on their investment. So if we see more Jadeveon Clowneys or Christian McCaffreys, then so be it. Would I selfishly want to see them miss the peach, rose, orange, fiesta, sugar, or cotton bowls? No. Would I want them to miss any other bowl? Of course not. And the same would go for the national semifinals and the CFP title game. However, if it means they stand to make more money preserving their bodies rather than use the bowl season as a platform to elevate their name even further with a legendary performance, then they should do it. It's time we applaud these young men and women for recognizing their worth in college. Many profit off of their hard work, their discipline, their sweat, and their commitment. I believe it's high time these young men and women start profiting off of their own hard work, their own discipline, their own sweat, and their own commitment. A happier athlete will make for a happier institution and a better overall sport. With the athlete making an investment in himself or herself, everybody wins.